So it's only been a couple of days since I did one of these news videos on Geospatial 2.0, but again, a lot is going on in the world of geospatial. I've got a few articles I wanted to share with you, some news that's been going on. First one is actually in Analytics Insights, which is not a geospatial publication, but they've got a really important article about GIS, IoT, and augmented reality actually. The wider world is beginning to understand the value of the technology and data that we know and love, so it's a really important article, this one. There's a couple of IoT interesting pieces as well. BaseN are a company that have just got an award. They're an IoT company, but they've started building digital twins, so their fundamental business model is around streaming IoT data. They're working with Trimble and other organizations, but they've got an award for their digital twins, so they're building these live versions of reality. So fascinating that a company like that are getting an award like that. Another piece of information, Computer Weekly, again, not a geospatial magazine, but they're talking about digital twins there. They're talking about how in Europe and in the US, we're beginning to some of the big agencies are beginning to build world-based digital twins. Really interesting stuff. Again, there's an IoT reference in there as well, so there's really three really important articles. Again, from the perspective of magazines talking about geospatial and the spatial world, Forbes is printing a lot of articles now around this whole world. There's a really important one that I'll link you to, which is about spatial AI. It's talking about XR, extended reality, but again, the focus here, which I've been talking about a lot in Geospatial 2.0, is the fact that we're going to move to these new screens. I'm talking to you on a smartphone at the minute, but we're going to be starting to wear glasses. In the next 4 or 5 years, I think we're a little way off yet, maybe quicker than that, but we are entering a world where there's new screens, and that's going to bring the digital and real worlds together, sort of superimposed, augmented reality, let's call it that. That's very geospatial. We call it spatial computing, but there's always going to be a location component to really be super valuable. So again, a really important article, well worth your reading. Just to finish out some company news, 𝐇𝐢𝐠𝐬𝐢𝐠𝐡𝐭𝐬, I think they're a Japanese company, I probably mispronounced it. They've just come out with a new camera LiDAR sensor, which is apparently groundbreaking. So I've included an article which discusses what that can do, how it's a much more accurate way of collecting data. So it's a brand new sensor, real cutting edge stuff. The last one is Constella, a German company. They've just launched a thermal sensor into orbit on the first one they've released. It's got 10-meter accuracy, so it's really accurate, and it's thermal data they're going to be delivering. So that's really important in terms of monitoring what's on the ground. That's not just climate change, it's agriculture and a whole world of other things. Again, we're seeing some massive changes in that collection of data from orbit, from satellites, and this is another example of new data that we're collecting. What are we going to do with that data, and how are we going to use that data? It's a Geospatial 2.0 question. So if you're interested in this stuff, please sign up for the newsletter. I provide much more context and links to these posts in there, and in particular a couple of the articles I just mentioned at the very beginning. I'll provide you a little bit more insight and context on those things in a newsletter, so please sign up if you're interested in this stuff and stay in touch with all things new in geospatial. Thanks for watching.